You know what I think this is? A lot of these guys nationally are dug in on this Celtics thing. They just don't like this team, and I'm convinced.
How come Shaquille O'Neal doesn't? I never took him as. Perkins, obviously, Kendrick Perkins is a back and forth going on, mostly with you people. But I always found Shaq very, I don't know, I think supportive of the Celtics.
He might just be trying to shake it up because everyone's picking the Celtics.
Or maybe he said one thing that was critical. He heard from you bitches, and now he's like, F you.
I wouldn't rule that out.
I think it's that more than anything else.
That happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, the Celtics fans are such crybabies. And they just can't handle anything.
I can't recall, but I'm pretty sure he was one of those many that picked the Mavs in the finals over the Celtics last year. And I'm sure, like you said, he heard it and was like, oh, F these people.
Yeah.
Because, again, there is this sort of anti-Celtics sentiment from a lot of national talking heads and ex-pros. Either they don't like the team, they still look at them as soft, paper champions, something, I don't know, or they've heard too much from the fans, but there is still a thing there with some of these guys.
You said this at the beginning of the year. Last year did not, and I'm sorry.
It didn't convince a lot of people.
No, it didn't, because they had an easy road. They never really got pushed. And I think, Tatum was bitching at the refs again last night. So, I mean, to me, there's still a thing there. And I can't say the Celtics totally.
I think it's more about the fans.
Maybe.
I think the fans are a turnoff. And so that they don't dislike the team, they just dislike you, and so you combine the two. You root against the team because they don't want you to get your day because you've turned them off. Like, that's what I think happens with these national guys. Because on the basketball part of it, I know it was a 3-point game last night, and I know Cleveland was missing guys. I still don't think it's close.
Yeah, did you ever sweat it? I didn't. Not for 1 second.
I did a little bit in that fourth quarter. I thought the Celtics were going to give it away.
I will say the same thing that I said going into the game. Who's Cleveland's second guy? And I know their two big guys are important, but that I don't really consider that, like, unless I'm just stupid and I'm wrong. I mean, when they need a basket, they dump it inside to Mobley. They dump it inside, and like we need two. We're going to dump it inside and have him go and post up. Who plays that way anymore? Who does that?
Nobody.
No one.
So
it's supposed to be Garland, and Garland sucked last night.
So Garland sucks.
Yeah.
And I'll take that back immediately. I don't watch it enough to tell you that he totally sucks.
Blades is throwing crap at us.
It's the only Bruins guest we can get on set. It's the mascot who doesn't talk.
Who's their second shooter? You don't trust
Who's
Garland.
their second shooter?
Yeah.
That's what I've been asking. Who's their second guy? I know those big guys are really important, and if they're, running the floor and in transition and that sort of thing, yes, and it happened last night. And the defense doesn't get set, yes. Those guys Mobley can kind of pick you apart in there. Or if you don't have a big guy to match him or whatnot. But in the playoffs, you get into the half-court thing, and you muscle up and you gear up defensively. It's Donovan Mitchell. I don't think Garland, I'm sorry. How big is he?
Oh, he's tiny. Yeah, to me, he's not the guy. It's Mobley. To me, I think Mobley is the guy. And then I think everybody else is they have a bunch of good role players, is how I would call it. And the Celtics are better.
You pick on Garland.
He's listed as 6'1". I don't even think he's that tall.
He feels tiny to me.
Yeah.
And so you just destroy him defensively. And I'm sorry, offensively, I know I caught him on a bad night. What was he, 3 of 21?
Something like that.
3 of 21.
He's better than that.
0 for 6. I thought he played like such a clown. Like certain situations where Cleveland had climbed its way back into it, they get a turnover, Garland's leading the break, and it's like, okay, dude, you get 2 here, you've tied it, or it's a 1-possession game, or like this is a big possession, and he just barreled recklessly into the rim, right into Derek White. It's like, do you know that Derek White is a good rim defender as a guard, and you have no chance against that guy, you idiot? And he just, recklessly, goes in there. I think Garland has no basketball sense. I don't know. I don't get Darius Garland. I went back and looked at it last year. I know Mitchell was out, so it was on Garland. He sucked in that playoff series against the Celtics. I'm out on Cleveland. Out. Sorry.
I'm not out on Cleveland. I was impressed by Cleveland last night.
So you agree with Shaq? Moral victory for the Cavs.
Moral victory, yes. I'm not picking them to win the East, but I'm telling you, I thought that they were pretty good last night, all things considered. And I thought the Celtics played one of their better games of the year, probably their second best game of the year, going back to the opener. But I thought Cleveland competed. I thought Cleveland's offense got exposed in the first half, especially because the Celtics decided to play defense last night for the first time, and again, since the opener, and really made them work for it. And the shortage of Cleveland weapons showed up. But in the second half, I thought they fought their way back in. I thought they dug in. I like Mitchell. I think he's fearless.
Of course, he's great.
So he's fearless.
It's just not enough.
No, and I still think the Celtics have a tendency to lapse into stupid decisions every now and then.
Okay, so here's my about with the Celtics. I don't take Cleveland seriously. I don't know who I take seriously versus the Celtics. I'll just say it again. Other than injury, the only thing that I think could potentially trip up the Celtics, potentially, is play style. They were so hot from beyond the line last night, and they were just making everything. It was one of those nights that I think that sort of lends to an overall sort of softness. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like it's so easy. Everything's going in. You don't really need to dig in on defense. After they got the lead, and after they were at 1.69% from behind the line, and they built up a big lead, it's like, all right, walk in the park, we just keep shooting. And I think that's where they get into trouble. It's that play style. And it does, to me, go back to the three-point ball. It's just a little too much.
So, Mike, I wish I could remember it now. I'll look it up. But there was a point late in the game where I want to say they were up 8-ish, might have been 7, might have been 9, somewhere in that area. They had possession of the ball after Cleveland missed. And I thought, all you need now is twos. There wasn't a ton of time left in the game. And they kept taking threes. And I remember looking at it going, what are you doing? Just ice it now. Put them away. Go to the basket, get twos, get free throws. They'd have to make a three every time to counteract that. They don't have enough time to do that. Just win the game. And they were stubborn about it and let Cleveland get back in and close the gap. So I also think, my personal opinion, they need Porzingis against teams like Cleveland.
Just because their size?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a double big thing, yeah.
Absolutely. So Horford was terrific in that game last night.
He was awesome.
He was excellent.
He contested like 14 shots or something like that.
And I think he had the best plus-minus on the team, if you buy into that. He scored 18 points. I think he was 4 or 5 from 3. Horford played great. He's not going to be like that every night in a series in May. We saw it. You're going to lose him some nights because he just doesn't have the legs.
He's too old.
And the youth and the energy to be able to do it anymore. They need Porzingis for games like last night because they got abused in the paint. And I looked it up this morning on, in defense around the rim. If you go by restricted area and out of restricted area in the paint, they're in the bottom 10 defenses in the league. And if they encounter real opposition in the postseason this year, that can get exposed. So they're going to need him back or they're vulnerable. And I'm not telling you they're not good. They're the favorite. But if they're going to beat good teams in the playoffs, they're going to need him.
Yeah, but I'm with Mike on this. If they're the 2 in the East.
I don't see it.
So, okay, they lose in 6 instead of 5.
Garland is just, he's a liability to me. The physicality and size of your guards, of Derek White and Jrue Holiday. Never mind Jaylen Brown, who plays out there too if he wants.
Gives everybody trouble.
It's just such it's so glaring. And Donovan Mitchell's tough enough, and such a gamer and a talented guy and a tough player that, he'll get his. A guy like Garland,
no shot.
I just give him no shot. And so, what else do they have? I know. So who was out for them last night? The Wade kid, that guy.
He didn't play right.
I know. Is that going to make that big of a difference? I just don't. I don't see it.
So the other thing that I liked about them last night, their offense reminded me a little bit of Miami. They had a lot of guys cutting, and they got some easy layups and dunks. There was a lot of movement there. It was good team basketball.
Yeah, I like the way they play.
They felt well coached to me last night. I liked it. And again, not that coaching's the be-all and end-all. And I would say they have about 8 guys, some guys that can spot up and shoot. Niang can shoot. Wade has his moments. Strus didn't play right. He was out last night. Strus can shoot. So, they were a little like Miami in that way, and they were tougher than I thought they were going to be.
Okay, there's some Celtics thoughts for you.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here.
For more Celtics analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.